Hello and welcome everyone to the OVRC and welcome to round one of the GT2 Series. I am joined by Erwin
Hello, everyone.
and we are at Hockenheim, the Grand Prix circuit, as you can see on your screen, and for the first race of the brand new GT2 Series. Are you looking forward to this?
Yeah.
That's a very straight answer. So as the qualifying will begin now, as the drivers will start heading out onto the track, as yeah, it should be an interesting series. This obviously using the GT2 cars. Someone's out on track, which they shouldn't be.
Yeah, so we're doing the driver's briefing again, of course, in the GT series, since we will be using a rolling start again. So the drivers are now supposed to be in the Discord voice chat and not out on track.
It'll be an interesting discussion. But let's go back quickly to the cars. So we've got 25 cars signed up in the race anyway on the server. So it's going to be quite a busy grid. But let's quickly just talk about the cars and the track first while we have a chance. I'm assuming you have driven Hockenheim at some point.
Wait a second. Now, what were you saying?
You have driven Hockenheim at some point.
Yes, I have driven Hockenheim at some point, several points in fact.
Good, because obviously this track is quite well known. It's used for all sorts. It's used in Formula One, DTM, GT Masters race here. So it's got a wide spectrum of cars that do race here, and yeah, so it is quite a diverse track. It's of course not the easiest track. It's got some interesting corners. T1, very fun. We have seen a couple of times in the practice session earlier when I was observing some cars are spinning off there on the outside curb. Um,
Yep, sounds like Hockenheim.
some sausage curbs around some corners as well. So it's not the easiest track, but it's quite a fun track anyway. I can quite enjoy it. And then let's go to the cars, which are obviously now GT2s rather than GT3 from last season. Have you had a go in these cars yet?
I have briefly had a go in the rough.
How do you find it? That's as quick because I've got a bit more experience in them. So
Yeah, I find them quite enjoyable actually. Feels like, yeah, pretty much like GT3 but better.
so I'm going to go over some special pointers, which if you haven't driven these cars or not used them yet in Race Room, this is to explain what they are. GT2 cars are essentially GT3 cars, but with a bit less power, I believe, but a bit more aerodynamic, so they're a bit more grippy, and the tyres on them are softer. Speaking of the tyres, these cars do have two compounds of tyres available to them. The soft and the hard tyre. The hard tyre is a bit softer than what the GT3 cars run, but it's still very soft, and the softer is even softer as the cars now are unleashed on the track. As we are finishing this discussion, there you see all of them rolling out on track. But yeah, so that's going to be another thing to note is the fuel tanks are limited to 55 minutes a maximum on the tank. So you will have to pit, because obviously the race itself is 70 minutes long, so you have to do a pit stop. You can't fun it fully. So it should be fairly interesting strategy calls in terms of when people pit for fuel, what tyres people take. It should be interesting. Not really something we had before in the OVRC, obviously running the classes before, which very much were a case of fuel and the choice between tyres and no tyres on pit stop. That was it. So again, as I said earlier, the cars are out on track right now. Just to see what happens in this qualifying session. Obviously, everyone will be on the soft tyre for qualifying. Don't see why you would not be in the soft tyre for qualifying.
Yeah, that would be a bit silly.
Obviously, the cars will be the fuel taken all the way out as little as they can get, so the car's as light as possible. What we need to bear in mind is the RUF does have the biggest effect with the fuel tank out because the weight balance of that thing's a bit weird. It is a Porsche in the end of the day. The engine in the front, fuel tanks in there. The fuel tanks in the front, the engine's in over the back axle, so the weight does get a bit light on the front end. But we'll see how it goes. And we got quite an interesting field up. So during practice, there was only one of the Corvettes not in the top 6. The P3 to P6 was all Corvettes. Top 2 were in the RRF, also known as a Porsche. I probably will mistakenly refer to it as a Porsche during the entire broadcast, because that's essentially what it is, as Magnus Ullberg will be setting our first timed lap. As he's heading down to the hairpin. Okay, you know I mentioned about the soft tyres? Tom Pottage is on the hard compound right now.
Is he?
He's on the hard compound tyre. Luckily, by the way, the overlay has been updated recently, so now we have the fancy tyre information available to us. Also, Jan Willem Ommen is also on the hard tyre. Everyone else on the soft. Also,
Nice.
if you look at your OVO series, beside the manufacturer logo on the UI, you will see the what tyre they're on. It'll be either yellow for the soft or orange for the hard tyre.
Yeah, so the overlay is using the Formula 1 tires as an example here. Although, obviously, these cars do not run Formula 1 tires.
Nope, they're nowhere near as soft as those, as Max Opus is the first cover line, immediately beats it with a 1:37.9, and first times are flooding through. Cover line going top to the board with the BMW M3 GT3, 2, 3, 1,
2.
4. GT car. By saying that, Thomas Janssen is immediately faster than Sector 1 by 0.3 of a second. Now just up the road, I believe that is Josef Honzig just up the road there. I'm still very interested if Tom Pottage remembers to change tyres at some point. Victor Berlin, I believe, is also on the hard compound tyre right now. So we've got a couple of people on the hard for qualifying. As Gonzalez, that's the fastest time in the Cadillac, the lone Cadillac of this race. There's no surprise, Thomas Janssen gets the pole position with 1:36.5. Only over a second gap between the pole sitter and the car in P2, so a lot of work for the others to do to get up there. Yeah, nearly over half the field have yet to set a time, so no rush.
Yeah, still 16 minutes left as Thomas Janssen shaves 2/10 of his time in Sector 1. Seems to be anyone really challenging him right now, although lots of people still on outlaps, I think. Or on their first time laps.
Yep.
Tom Pottage just crosses the line and moves into P6.
1:38.2 on the hard compound, and you can shave about 1 second off apparently if you use the soft compound compared to the hard. So
John Dalton goes P5.
Thomas Johnson is still improving his times. He's improved in the second sector. But does improve his time. 1:36.555. Which is I can't actually tell. I'm not reading that overlay properly. A few more times on the board now. All the way down to P19 now have our time set. I don't think Mark Whitford's time is representative because it's 7.2 seconds off the pace. Thomas Olsen jumps up the order a bit. Tom Pottage is still in the hard compound tyre in the P45. The P45 being an interesting car. If you didn't know, it's actually based, I believe, off a Ferrari F430 underneath. So the engine is borrowed from that car. I think a bunch of other stuff as well is borrowed from it. Not technically supported by Ferrari though, so it has an interesting career, that car. And you will know it's actually got two versions of it in Race Room. There is a GT2 and a GT3 version of it. GT2 basically being the same thing, but with a lot more power stuck all over it. Currently it's 5 cars. We'll make that 3 cars. I've yet to set a timed lap right now. Cars now heading through the hairpin. Still 12 minutes to go, so again, still plenty of time for everyone to improve their current times.
Thomas Jansen leading by quite some margin right now. But there's still a few rivals of his that haven't set a real conclusive time yet. Mark Whitford is all the way down in P23. So he has not yet set a good lap. And of course Jaroslav Honzik has not yet set any lap at all. He is on a lap right now. He was 2/10 off Jansen in Sector 1. That will be on his first timed lap, assuming he finishes this one.
So take as much sausage curve as possible there, getting on 2 wheels over the turn 1. Unfortunately not the quickest way of taking turn 1. You can be on all 4 wheels when doing that. Mark Whitford is now under the second with 0.7 off the pace in the BMW. We've not seen the Corvettes though, as the Corvette's very strong in practice. Obviously we don't commentate over practice, but the work has Omen's making an overtake on someone.
Jaroslav Honzik just took P2. He's 2/10 off Thomas Jansen, so certainly has a shot at pole position here.
I think Sereno just got overtaken by Omen, who was on an improved lap time, but not going to be improving what I believe that is anyway. He's one of the Corvettes. Unfortunately, the Corvettes are yellow. and it makes it quite hard to tell.
The Corvette behind him was Korliski's Sorano.
That was Serrano, so possibly a bit in the way there. I don't think this will be a good lap time for Mumman. We'll try and make do with it. Oh, and Honzig spins it. I don't know if that's deliberate or not, but he does spin it at the enter to the arena section. Tom Potts is still in the hard compound, man. He's not out on track right now, but he hasn't changed over to the soft. So I'm slightly worried about that. Maybe trying to get some practice in. Maybe he's realizing that maybe he knows something we don't. But right now, it's
Could be.
not really showing that. He's sitting P11 in the standings. Gonzalez looking to improve right now in the Kidlick. The largest car on the field.
So Tom just left a message in the chat saying, "Oh shit, I forgot to put on the softs." So good job, I
Clap.
guess.
So might help a bit if you put the softs on. He has put the soft tyres on now. So he might have to go another lap. He's got 7 minutes to do so. Can he move out of P11 and into that top 10 spots? Currently, with 7 minutes to go, Thomas Janssen is leading this qualifying session, followed by Honzig, Gonzalez, Whitford, Kovalainen, Roberts, Olsen, Dalton, Letzek, and Berlin round off the top 10. Berlin is now going to be heading across the line shortly, or shortly in a few seconds, and moves up to P9. A little improvement for him. under 4 minutes to go. Not a lot of people are trying to improve their time still. But most of the people on track right now, as Tom Potts is going to cross the line with now the soft tyres on, will he improve his time? He does. Improves it. Doesn't move up the order. Still P11. So the soft tyres obviously not helping. Just looking around at the timings and stuff, just wondering what's really going on. If there's any major developments going on right now. Seems to be a lot. A lot of people now are either just using the opportunity to practice a bit. Saying that, Honzing improves Sector 1 by 0.005.
It's still something, still a real shot at taking pole position. I think he'll be coming up to the end of Sector 2 pretty shortly. Let's see how he did there. And it's gone purple, but there's no time, so perhaps identical.
There's smoke up ahead on the road. I believe this one's gone off possibly.
Doesn't look like anyone's off the track there.
They managed to get out of the way before the cars went through. Is a car stopped? Steve Higgins has stopped at turn 2. He's now off the track.
Honzing crosses the line and he does not take first position.
As one of the BMW decides to
slightly closer.
Launch itself way across.
Yeah, and Thomas Jensen is improving again in Sector 1. I think Honzing has just about enough time to get another lap in.
One more chance, as he may have a chance. It's under a minute to go. He is the closest right now, as no one else has managed to get under half a second to the top 2. Has been somewhat whitewashed by Honzing and Jansen within the IRFs.
Yeah, looks like Jensen's new Sector 1 is faster than Honzing's new Sector 1, but Honzing's new Sector 1 is faster than Jensen's old Sector 1.
Jansen improves in Sector 2 by 0.148. Heading into the Mercedes Arena now. Well, not in the Mercedes Arena, already in the Mercedes Arena.
Honzing improves Sector 2 by 0.120. And he goes off.
And that is the end of qualifying, so Jansen takes pole, followed by Honzing, Gonzalez, Whitford, Kovalainen, Berlin, Dalton, Robert, Olsen, and Paletzek round off the top 10. As we will be shortly start going into the race. 70 minutes of... And, it's a big old pack of Corvettes. So, it's going to be an interesting fight between the two Corvette teams, actually, because I believe John Dalton and Robert Paletzek are on a team together, along with Whitney Roberts and Olsen together in a team. So, as we will be shortly going to the grid. 30 seconds for the drivers to ready up and make sure they're ready. Remember, it is a rolling start.
Let's hope everybody has read the instructions.
Hopefully so.
We're gonna have a smooth rolling start. They are about to get underway.
So, Jansen starts rolling off the grid. The grid starts rolling. Now it
Yeah.
is 2 by 2 this time compared to the last season where it was 1 by 1.
Looks like they've all managed to get going without any drama.
So, and that is 26 cars trying to fit around the hairpin. See if they can do it.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
Only the most competent drivers in this league.
So, last few corners now. Long. And now we'll be shortly onto the pit limiter. We'll start to bunch the entire field together. As they will be getting ready to go. Head for the final corners now. The final 2 corners at least. Past the pit entry. And we're going to soon be going. Letting the cars loose. The final corner now onto the start finish straight. Eats. And when is Thomas going to release some? And he's going, so we now are going for the first race, and Thomas gets a very clean getaway. And for turn 1 they all go. So far seems fairly clean from everyone, and everyone does seem to have got through turn 1. The car's getting a bit loose out, so the tyres will be a bit cold now, and just see what sort of strategies people can choose what tyre they want to start on. A few people are starting on the soft tyre. Now they head all down to the hairpin. There's going to be a point where possibly the Corvette goes. There's a bit of collision already.
Ooh.
And that has slowed down the entire field, a bit like Olsen hitting to the side of John Dalton, I believe, in the hairpin. A bit too aggressive to make positions up as Mark Whip Arthur Kovalainen has dropped down the order a bit. He's started on the 3rd row of the grid, and he's now down to P and 7. A lot of movement going on behind. One man's going to go down the inside of Woolby. Will now be forced to the outside line. Very hard to go around the outside, especially in these GT cars, and not be easy. They'll still think, well, yeah, there's Jansen Honzing, if someone made a getaway. Going for another go, possibly. And so is Robert Nygaard behind them as well. He's trying to find a gap through. Wolby's keeping very strong and defensive. Managed to keep the inside line. We'll have the inside line for the long banking. We'll manage to keep the overspeed though, as they're going to head into the hairpin very shortly. we'll go try and sneak up around the inside. We'll be keeping it very close together. There's a bit more going on in the background there. He's got the fight between Robert Nygaard and Trubisky up just in front of him. Look how small that P45 is compared to the M3. Tiny little thing. So I'm gonna go down the inside, and he does. Yeah, that's another position up made by Robert Nygaard. He now moves to P17. Possibly allow a bit more going on. So far it's been fairly clean, no major instances of night apart from that very optimistic manoeuvre at the beginning of the hairpin. But so far it's been fairly tame.
Radak Alexek is now very close to the back of Olsen. And they do go side by side as they come up to the hairpin. Let's see if there will be any moves made from here. And there will not. Though maybe Alexek could make some kind of switchback. No, he won't be able to. It's closely behind though.
As Olsen gets a bit loose then, and will concede the position to Radek. His teammate manages to not overtake him, but a small little mistake, a bit too much curb, and the car got a bit loose and lost the position there. The fight in the lead is Honzig is still right on the tail of Janssen, and both of them on the hard compound tyre. At least both taking the slightly longer possible stop. The soft tyre, from what I understand, will have a sharp drop off at some point. So whenever that will be, you don't quite know yet. As Vinnie Roberts is now trying to make a possible move on his teammate, as well as Sebastian Brunier, and there's a bunch of stuff going on in the back right now. Side by side, which is Sebastian Brunier, and I believe that is Distendo into the hairpin. There's door rubbing there. Nothing major happened. Bit of a lock-up. Has a car gone off, or something's happened? Oh, and that's what Nygaard is going slowly there. Don't quite happen there. That might explain the tyre marks earlier on past the Mercedes stand. Now look at who he had tangle with. Might be Magnus Olberg, I believe, because he's also fallen down the order from where you expect to see him. Going up the road. Oh, Nygaard's managed to get hit. Oh, and the car stopped. Not Number 5 BMW of Bartozzi had an incident, and he's dropped all the way back at the order. Incident turn 2, I believe. What happened there? Possibly collision with a car, possibly lost control. He's got a lot of work now to do. He's 7 seconds behind the cars in front of him.
Meanwhile, Jaroslav Honzik is still very close to Thomas Jansen. They seem to be about equal right now. Sometimes Honzik closing up a little bit and then losing a bit of time again. Seems like this will keep going like this for quite a while. Although I think Honzik is now closer than he's been before. As Jansen takes a defensive line on the inside of the hairpin. They go side by side around it. Can Honzik get a better exit? Looks like Jansen going slightly faster through there, but Honzik will left the inside into the next corner. And can he make his way past now?
Thomas going for the switchback, and he's done it. So Thomas managed to... Honzik broke a bit deep then. But the order will stay the same.
Jansen did manage to defend that, but looks like he's not going to have an easy job for the rest of this race. With just over an hour left.
Well, it's interesting that they're both on the same tyre, so we have very similar strategies, I believe. Depends how long they can believe they can last on whatever tyre they want to go on to next, whether that be the soft or the hard.
Honzik is now in the slipstream on the main straight. He had a look at the inside. Like Honzik is looking for opportunities, but they're not quite there yet. He is once again closing up towards the hairpin. Honzik will take the inside line this time around. Can he do it? Will he get a better exit?
Equal exit. Ooh, I think Thomas Jansen has a bit more speed coming out of that.
Yeah, although...
Side by side still.
Jansen will defend on the inside this time around. Honzik will lift the inside for the next corner as they go side by side through it. Jansen will again stay ahead for now, so some great defending from him. But Honzik is not making his life easy.
Worth noting that the Cadillac of Gonzalez is closing on the back of them as they fight. Still over a second.
Good point.
Second behind, but the more these two fight, the closer he's going to get. Definitely also on the soft tyre though, so I don't think he can capitalise too much out of this. If it was on the same compound strategy, you could possibly do something, but Benzi's going to risk soft, because that is doable. Really? Another car stopped on track, doesn't look like it.
In the meantime, Walby has been closing up on Jansen. Magnus Jansen, that is. And Jan van Ommen is closing up on him. But Honzik is again going up the inside in the hairpin.
Once again,
and they get about equal exit again.
Jansen's exits, he launches it. I think there's a little button there to get some extra boost, because every time he goes round the outside, he seems to have a bit more boost. But the same car. Honzig this time has the inside, but will go to the outside for the next. They keep switching back which position they're in each time to go around it.
Normally Jensen had successfully defended his position by this point, but they're still going now. Honzig will have the inside into the next corner. And he is past now, unless Jensen can do anything. Into the next few corners, and of course the straight. Let's see if he can maybe take his position back into turn 1. I don't think he's close enough to do that. So it looks like Honzig will stay ahead for now. With emphasis on for now.
Ooh,
You never know with these two.
And if that was a twitch of trying to control the car or just trying to take a very interesting line. He just somewhat swerve across the entire track then. Meanwhile, there's a little pack of cars going up to the fight between 12. It is Jensen, Wolby and Omen currently there. And a little pack together. Still just under an hour to go, so still plenty of time for something to happen between these lot.
Like Tom Pottage is also starting to close up on Tommy Olsen now. They just came out of the hairpin. And since there's some fighting going on between Walby and Jensen, and indeed there is. Walby will be taking the outside line. Jensen gets past. And Omen is coming right up behind, and Jensen, I think, was off the road slightly there. And Walby spun.
Walby spun, there's a bit of contact from behind.
Walby drops down to P16 behind Higgins.
Omen is taking blame, he is slowing down.
Yeah.
And let him back past, so I believe he touched him at the rear, and it's...
Yeah, it does seem like the most logical explanation, just watching the replay right now, and yeah, it looks like that is what happened.
Did get the position back, so White just ruined the fight a bit. It means they got to continue. No one really gains anything out of that, apart from Jensen, who managed to somehow get away. I think a very slow exit, may I add, as Jensen's going down the inside into the hairpin
again
at the other end of the track. Jensen has been a bit less aggressive and make the move here. He's not really closing the same amount of gap, and interesting to see how these two will go. Obviously, having even on the hard tyre, the tyre is a lot more sensitive to overdriving than it used to be, so it'll be interesting to see how well the tyres will last after an hour of driving on them. Gonzalez is somewhat lost, these lot. Now over 3 seconds back, so he's having the best of time. Pack is slowly starting to split up.
There's some action between Wolby and Omen again. So Omen moves up the inside of Wolby and he gets past right before the main straight. So Omen moves up into P15 right behind Stephen Higgins. And Tom Pottage behind Tommy Olsen coming up the hairpin now. See what he's going to do.
Pulling out
he
to the inside.
Moves up the inside and can he get a good exit out of there? Looks like he just about will. Also
Just
still close behind though. This is going to be very close into the next couple of corners.
Olsen taps the brakes then to just keep not hit him, but
looks like Pottage has made his way past.
no, he's
and up into P10.
Yep, so he's now in that top 10 position after after not the best qualifying session. He's back on his old favourite hard tyres though right now. So he's down the bit between the two green Corvettes. There's a little sandwich. A P45 sandwich. So he's trying to make his way up the border.
Looks like the fighting between Hansik and Jensen has calmed down a bit now. Now moves into the hairpin for a couple of laps.
Ullman's going down the inside of Higgins into T2. Does make the move work, so he now moves up to P14. Those two things will be trying to fight back if all possible. He's at the BMW, he's got set to have a bit more top speed. And Wolby managed to try and sneak through past Higgins as well. They'll now be side by side. And Wolby's going to try and make the move down the inside as well.
Staying close to Omen. Omen runs a bit wide for there. Robert Nygaard goes on the inside of Tim Driscoll. And Driscoll runs wide actually, so Nygaard has made his way past.
Further up the order into the fight for P5, John Dalton is in the back behind Victor Berlin. He's having a fairly good drive actually, Victor Berlin, for he's currently sitting in P5 as stated. But Dalton is definitely trying to possibly make a move very soon on him.
John Dalton is closing up to Victor Berlin, leading up to the hairpin.
Oh, Dalton's going
Berlin
down.
has already taken the inside line to defend. As they go around now, let's see what the exits are like. Berlin stays in front, but Dalton gets closely behind and they go side by side to the next corner. Berlin will defend up the inside here.
But Dalton with the inside for the next corner.
And it looks like Dalton has just about made his way past now, as you can also see Anton Grivelainen coming up right behind them. And this is going to get interesting. Grivelainen moves up the inside of Berlin. And he gets past too.
So Berlin drops 2 positions. Dalton managed to gain 1. As Tom Potter is behind them as well, as managed to get past the 2 Corvettes as well. Now actually that's a pretty big move for Kovalainen and Dalton, because Victor Berlin is on the soft compound tyre. And he's got overtaken by 2 people running the hard compound, which gives them a bit more options in terms of strategy call. I mean, we don't really know the effects of the tyre compounds yet. This being the first race we're running with a broadcast of this race. There was like sort of a pre-season race at Road America, but we don't really look too much into that. That was more for testing. So having people have a chance to test the cars out rather than a official race as such.
And Vinnie Roberts moves on Tom Pottage. And looks like he has made a move before the hairpin. And leading up to there, Tom Pottage might try to take it back into the hairpin though.
But be very careful.
Doesn't look like he will be able to, maybe unless he gets a good exit there. And he does not.
Could be careful though, because Olsen is behind him. And he's a teammate of Vinnie Roberts, so they may try and do some teamwork together. They are definitely very close to each other. So far it's been a very good race so far. A lot of action going on all over the field. It shows you how close these cars keep racing with each other.
Sebastian Brunner gets past Stephen Higgins. Brunner was the P17.
Car stopped on the track. Tim Diskerl has spun off.
Yeah.
Moving again. It's lucky no cars nearby him, but lost a lot of time now. There's something gone wrong with his car. But
he's gone all the way into the gravel now as the leaders are coming up on him.
Oh, be careful there.
Ooh. That just about went well. It could have gone all sorts of wrong.
I don't know what's going on with him, but the car is. I don't know if it's got damage at all or not. He is entering the pit lane. Something must have happened to his car.
I'll keep an eye on him in the pit lane.
He's technically our first pit stop now. As Brad Kletzer is now on the back of Brett Berlin. As Victor Berlin's now on the pit stop, so I believe the soft tyres now gone off. So this is the point.
Tim Driscoll was also on soft tyres, so that may have something to do with it.
I mean, the soft tyres are now gone. The drop-off point has reached them now. We're going to start seeing.
Tim Driscoll is also changing tyres.
As always, a bit of a close between Jensen and Honzig. Victor Berlin's now in the pit lane. Pottage now on the back of Radek.
So it looks like Tim Driscoll switched to another pair of soft tires, and Victor Berlin has switched to the hard tires.
Worth noting, Radek Plastic has now got Tom Pottage right behind him. I believe his tyres are shot at. They're gone. They don't exist anymore because he's lost a lot of time. And he'll be pitting very shortly, I believe. He's struggling as Pottage tries to look on the inside. I would be surprised if we do see Paletek pulling into the pit lane very shortly. Well, he doesn't. He stays out. And that's interesting. He doesn't have the pace to keep Pottage that long.
Well, Jensen is once again closing up on Honzik in the hairpin, but he doesn't decide to make any moves this time around. Like they've just been going like that for a bunch of laps now. It will be interesting to see how their pit strategies work out.
A lot of people on the soft tyre are starting to struggle now as Thomas Siak is just got passed by Omen. Rory Roberts and Thomas Olsen have dropped off the back of the fight between Paletek and Pottage right now. So they're losing some time as well. Pottage is still struggling to get past Paletek, so whatever he's trying to do is working. The cars behind him are losing a lot of time sitting behind him. But Pottage needs to get the move done shortly, and it's his opportunity now. Corvette might have a bit more grunt in the straights than the P45 does. Around the rest of the grid, there's still a lot of people very close to each other.
Yeah, Thijs Dendo is now in the pits.
As Paletek goes off, doesn't loot, gets a bunch of understeer, and his tyres are definitely shot at now. He's struggling for grip out there as Vinnie Roberts is now behind him. He's somewhat blocking the other two Corvettes that are getting past Pottage as he once again struggles even more and gets in between them. So he's causing a lot of trouble now. But he will, I assume, will be pitting very shortly. No, he stays out once more. Paletek is pushing those soft tyres to the absolute limit, it seems. Does seem a lot. The soft tyre is not the tyre to have right now. Does seem to be a lot of people on that tyre are struggling for grip.
Looks like Dendo has gone from the hard tires to another set of hard tires. Also fixed some of the damage he had. A slightly damaged car though. Magnus Jensen goes down the inside of Sayak in the hairpin, and there's another car coming up.
Oh!
Oh, he gets it.
Jensen spins around, puts a bit too much power, I believe.
I
Just
think he
caught.
got. Yeah, he might have actually got hit by Michael Martel, I think.
We soon catch that on the YouTube replay, but all we can do now. We'll see the aftermath of it, obviously, which means that Jansen now moves down to P15.
No, it actually, looking at the late YouTube stream, it seems that he just about lost it on his own and then got hit. So it doesn't look like there's anyone at fault here.
Jansen down the inside of the hairpin.
Here we go again.
And will he get a better launch? Does he be on the outside? You can get a way better exit out of that. And he's trying to squeeze Honzig as much as he can. He's going to have the outside line. Then switches back to the inside, so these two are still going at it. Even after all this time now. As they... Oh, a bit of contact there. Jansen gets a bit sideways. Will be forced to the outside now for the arena. They keep going. They're still together. Please don't touch, guys. Please don't crash. As Honza goes out very wide there, and Jansen may have made it. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Not yet. It's not over yet. Into turn one they go. Still
They could just keep going like this forever.
Does seem like it. They're so close. They're nearly done a full lap side by side now. Jansen just about gets in front. As they're going to probably start the cycle again. Honzig's a bit, definitely the more aggressive driver out of the two in terms of trying to make moves. But saying that, go around the outside. He gets such a better launch going around the outside there every time. It always seems to happen. If you're on the outside, you have so much more speed coming into this little kink. Which means then you can go side by side for the rest of it. This is going to be a mirror. No, it's not. Jansen does pull up behind, and Honzig, after a lap of side by side action, does manage to hold the position.
In the meantime, while that was happening, Thomas Sayak went into the pit lane and switched from the soft tires to the hard tires. It sounds like there's someone else in the pits now.
What is that number? That is.
Yeah, Villar is in the pits. So he's down in 22nd. He overshoots his split box, so he's had to reverse back in.
Nygaard is trying to make a move on Matosi. Oh, a bit of contact there. Nothing major out of it. A little bit of touching.
And there's someone else coming into the pit lane. It looks like it will be Anton Krivalainen, yeah.
And I think also another car's in there as well.
John Dalton. John Dalton is currently on hard tires, and Krivalainen as well. Sounds like there's someone else coming in. Omen is also coming in. Dalton and Krivalainen are both changing tires.
Has Peletsek pitted yet?
I don't think he has.
He's still going on those soft tyres. He is pushing those soft tyres till the end, it seems.
So Dalton is now on the softs.
Black Market is trying to get out of the way
Simon
there.
is on hards again. Stephen Higgins, Magnus Muller-Jensen, and Tim van Ommen are currently in the pit lane. So it sounds like there's someone else entering. It will be Korliski.
As I think Thomas Jansen's in the pits.
Yeah,
Yes,
he is. Well, he's on the hard tires right now, so I suspect he will be switching to the softs with 34 minutes left.
Did he miss his pit box, or did he just restart his engine? A few cars were heading it
Caleb
up.
Gonzalez is also in the pits. Gonzalez was still on softs as well.
Worth noting, Thomas, yeah, it's a little battle. There's a lot of cars grouped together between P12 and a bit of P17 in like a very small huddle. As Jansen's out. Jansen will pull out P5 on the hard compounds once again.
And Gonzalez is also coming out now on the hards. Hans Olsen is currently pitting. Suppose Radek Palexek, so Palexek has finally come in.
Fonzie will be coming in very shortly.
And Sebastian Brunier is also in the pit lane.
Pretty much everyone is calling their pit stops now. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Honzig come into the pit lane.
Looks like Radek has gone into another set of softs.
The Honzig is now in the pit lane. Pull in as Sebastian Brunier heads out the pit lane.
There's another set of hards.
As Mark Whitford enters the pit lane.
Looks like just about everyone is entering the pit lane now.
Into that stage now.
Yeah.
Some of those people have managed to hold those tyres for a very long time, some of them. Tom Potters has taken the lead. Don't know how long it's going to be for. He is in that leading spot. Tom Potters has been known for doing unorthodox strategies, to be fair. So
and Honzig is also going out again on the hard tires.
As Thomas Jansen is in front. So Thomas Jansen got a quicker pit stop then, and he's 4 seconds up the road.
And Mark Whitford is also coming out the pit lane now on the hard tires. We'll be rejoining in P6.
Nygaard pulls into the pit lane now as well, as one of the Corvettes is also in the pit lane.
Yeah, that's Vinnie Roberts.
It's going to be a bit of a shuffle of the order right now. I don't think Tom Potters can keep the lead if he pits at all right now, where he just doesn't have enough time, I don't think, to keep ahead. Robert Nygaard now heads out on track again. The current leader is Tom Potters somehow. He's ended up in front of everyone.
Yeah, well, Tom has not yet pitted, so I think he'll be coming in pretty soon.
Gonzalez has dropped down a few positions, but I think that might be because of Wolby and the people in front of him have not taken their stops yet. So still people have not stopped, and we're trying to extend much as they can. Berlin has got currently at a Koval line to deal with behind him.
Kind of like seeing Berlin's livery because it's the one I used in Forza 4.
Huh. The art car.
Yeah.
So unique livery. It's
Yeah,
different.
that's basically why I picked it. It's like just going through the liveries and hey, this was nice and colorful. Let's do that.
Speaking
Young
of
me was simple like that.
Speaking of the art car, the other art car, Stephen Higgins, is coming up Nygaard right behind him in the... I still love the P45. It is such a cool car, the concept behind it, and it has probably one of the best sounding engines in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does sound awesome.
And if you hear the backfires that thing does sometimes, it's incredible. As Stephen Higgins tries to stick it the inside, there's a little kink. The side's better of it.
Michael Martel just came into the pit lane and he's straight back out again. In P9.
Nygaard gets past Steve Higgins.
And Kivalainen moves up the inside of Victor Berlin. And looks like Kivalainen will get past right there.
Very clean overtake there, not just managed to get straight in front of him, all in one swoop. It's a bit rare to see that, so a lot of side-by-side action. We've been somewhat spoilt by Janssen and Honzig being so close to each other there. As they kept managing to keep side-by-side. Kovalainen and Berlin, not so much. As, speaking of side-by-side, Max Olberg and Thomas Olsen have a bit of side-by-side moment, which eventually results in Olsen getting in front. I don't know if Olsen's pitted yet or not. Well, not Olsen, Olberg is pitted yet.
Not sure either. I think he might not have.
Is going in now, so...
Yeah, so it looks like he had not pitted yet.
Which explains the pace difference. As Plecek is trying to get past Mark Tull, who has definitely not pitted, I don't think, either. So Plecek is on the soft tyres. I believe it's a new set of soft tyres. So he's finally got rid of those old sets he's been running the entire race. Finally got some new ones. Another car in the pit lane?
Yeah, Trebesinski has also come into the pit lane.
You're not the best of racers, I don't think, so that probably explains why he's so late in the pits. And
Tom Pottage still hasn't pitted yet.
Gap for him is closing though, so he's going to have to pit soon. Don't think
he'll run out of fuel soon. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I don't think he can. Okay, I got a rough idea what he's going to try to do. He's going to try and do a splash and dash. He's going to bring those tyres for 70 minutes and splash and dash. So if he does that, I would not be surprised if he does that at this point.
I'd have huge respect for him if he does that. Especially if he manages to actually pull it off successfully.
As apparently, Mark Whitford got a disconnect, unfortunately. I don't know.
Ooh.
That's not good. I don't know why that happened. Your legacy is still there, Mark, because you painted the fastest top speed on the map of a 285 kilometers per hour. But it's not good when people get disconnected, and one of those things you don't really know what to do. Unfortunately, you can't rejoin the race halfway through. Martel is definitely struggling. Got passed by Olsen. As Pottage is now in the pit lane, so what will he be doing? Will he be up on the jacks? Will he just getting fuel thrown in?
I'll keep a close eye on him, that's for sure.
I mean, there's nothing else to really watch on track right now, so I think the world has to see this. Oh, he's on the jacks.
And he is up on the jacks, yeah.
Ah.
Boo.
Boo. As Wolby enters the pit lane now. The last pit stops are coming through.
And Pottage will be on the softs for the final 23.5 minutes of the race.
As you pull out P7. I think actually gained some positions out of that. Not too bad of a run. And now he's going to have some fresh soft tyres to chew through for 20 minutes.
And Jochen Walby has also changed onto the soft tires and will be rejoining in 13th position. Right, somewhere in the middle of the pack.
Nygaard's in the back of Serrano.
Vinnie Roberts and Michael Martel are side by side coming up to their hairpin. Like Roberts made his way past there. See if Martel can do anything on the exit.
Oh, there's a bit of contact there.
He'll be able to.
Turn 1. Ooh, Nygaard and Serrano have a bit of contact there. Turn 1. The lead is
looks like that was Robert Nygaard and Corliski Serrano, I think.
Serrano.
The yellow Corvette. At least they were standing still on track.
Ooh.
I didn't see the actual incident.
It's just on the replay now on the YouTube delay. It looks like when that guy tries to go around the outside and the Corvette gets a bit loose and knocks them, so don't know if anyone's really at fault there, but not the best race so far for Nygaard, as Tom Pottage is now right behind Victor Berlin. Like that, he's now side by side with Victor Berlin. He is now in front of Victor Berlin. Or saying that, I spoke a bit too soon. Side by side, no, he is in front. There we go.
I'm just amazed by the height difference between these cars. It looks a bit odd. But they are still side by side, coming up to the hairpin now. So Berlin will take the outside line. And looks like it will be Pottage who comes out ahead.
Gets ahead of it. Berlin's got damaged car up ahead. I believe that is the Stendo. As Magnus Solberg is on the back of Robert Nygaard.
Someone goes around the outside of Martel. And he's done it.
Martel's lost a lot of pace, or he's gained a lot of position somehow. He's
Yeah.
just falling down the order. Not very gracefully either, he's just sort of losing and losing positions.
So I think Honzik is closing up on Jansen right now. There's about a 2-second gap between them. So that could still get interesting towards the end of the race. With just over 19 minutes left now.
The gap between Honzik and Jansen is closing. That is the only gap that seems to be closing right now, as a lot of other gaps are extending in size. Distendo, Cyberslow and Villar, as they have one of the Corvettes coming through as well. Oh, there's a bit of contact there. Which one the Corvette is? It's definitely one of the leader Corvettes, so try and let them through if all possible. And followed by James Butler, so gotta be careful when doing that. Don't want to let your cars you're fighting pass while trying to let the leaders through.
Oh, Kurliski Serrano is in the pits again.
Interesting to see him back in there. He's definitely in the pit box.
Maybe under fuel.
Maybe.
He will be heading back out again, so no tire change, of course. And rejoining the track in 21st. With 22nd coming up right behind him.
The gap between the leaders is closing a lot.
Yeah.
That must have happened there with Jensen, or he's losing time somehow, because 16 seconds to hold that gap.
So it does look to be faster right now, as Marco Martel is also back in the pits, and he's on the jacks. And he has switched from the hard to the soft compound. As Honzik has just gotten within a second of Thomas Jansen right now, so he definitely is faster than Jansen at the moment. That is interesting.
So I'm sure maybe Jansen, because Jansen had a quicker pit stop by a few seconds.
Yeah.
So maybe he took less fuel and is now doing fuel saving.
Could
Maybe I
be.
can
They are
think
both
of.
on the same tires, by the way. Looks like this will get interesting. 13.5 minutes left. Should be plenty of time for Honzik to try and make a move. Honzik is now starting to creep into the half a second range. He is well and truly getting close now. On the main straight. Only 0.3 of a second behind.
While this is all going on, Tom Potters is closing the gap onto Anton Kovalainen. So, 11 minutes to go. Let's see how long Jansen can keep this going.
Worth keeping an eye on Pottage and Kovalainen while that's all happening. Because this is getting truly close now as well. I'm coming up to the hairpin now, though Tom's losing a bit of time. Now he's gaining again.
Oh, we have a car stopped on track at the second corner. Two cars.
Yeah, that is Villar.
Villar
And oh,
and...
there's another one.
Yeah, there's two cars there.
Serrano.
Both parked. Serrano's parked off the side of the track. I believe he might have a dead engine there, and
And Serrano has retired.
As Villar has a no front end, so he's got heavy damage there. That's exactly what happened. Meanwhile, the gap between Honzik and Jansen is closing.
So they are getting close now. Is it time for another hairpin fight? Yes, it is. Honzik moves up the inside. And here we go on the exit again. Thomas getting just about by their exit, it seems. The Honzik is gaining slightly again. Jansen left to defend it up the inside here. There's a car stopped on the middle of the track.
That's not
right
the place.
On the apex.
Don't be parked there. That's not the place you want to be, especially with the leaders coming through. So, 10 minutes. Can Janssen hold him that time? Villar's also in the D and F as well.
Yeah, that was the car that was just stopped
On the apex.
on track, yeah. But it's still closing up on Chris Linen as well. They just went around the hairpin without any drama.
A back marker just up ahead, I believe this is James Butler they're coming up to now. No, it's not. It's Thomas Siak in front. So
It is.
the BMWs. And he pulls all the way out to the side. Let them pass.
That's them passed easily.
Nearly hits the back. Oh! And Honzig's lost it. Honzig has lost it into the hairpin. And that is over for now. But too much
it's
power
gonna be
there.
difficult to get all that time back. There's only 8 minutes left.
He just put a bit too much power down. I don't think you can't blame anyone but himself there, unless obviously a bit maybe Netco, but I doubt it. Obviously, and really unfortunate, pushing a bit too hard, trying to get past.
It's very easy to do on that curb.
I'm assuming
Just give it a little bit too much throttle and you're gone.
I'm assuming he's running fairly low traction control settings to trying to push as much out of the car as possible.
A bit of fighting going on between Robert Nygaard and Magnus Alberg. All the way down the grid, as they are also closing up on Michael Martel. Oh, Nygaard gets it a bit wrong. And Martel is missing a front bumper. And he lets both of them past. Now there's a bit of a gap between them again.
Potter's is still on the back of Govalainen for P5, so was his strategy somewhat worked. He's definitely higher up the order than was before.
Yeah, still has a chance at P5. Seems to be working out for him.
And he's on the soft tyre, so he should have the pace advantage over Govalainen, but we'll see if he's already destroyed those tyres already. He's very close now. The BMW is a point.
This image just looks like M8 versus Ford GT again. It's that meme all over again.
Goes down the end.
Well, this goes on the outside, he goes too wide.
Oh, but Govalainen loses a bit of traction there, so...
Yeah, a bit loose for Line as well.
So didn't probably gain as much as he could have. They're still very close. They'll try and just keep going side by side.
So they're side by side again, and Pottas has just about gotten ahead.
I think a bit of track lock again, Govalainen going for a bit, the car got a bit loose and lost a bit of time.
And that's resulted in Pottas moving up to the top 5.
There's 5 minutes to go, so not long left. It's all about getting the car home at this point. A lot of people.
I think it will be. And not really much going on track at the moment. The smallest gap is currently between Magnus Alberg and Robert Nygaard.
All the way down in Pier 17.
Yeah, they were close together earlier, and then Nygaard had a bit of trouble. So you might still see something there. And I think that will be about it with 4 minutes left now. As these 23 drivers will be looking to make their way to the checkered flag now. And Martel has dropped another position. So I think it might actually be the damage costing them a bunch of time.
One group of cars which have not had best of race has been the Green Corvettes, can't remember the team name, but they've dropped down a lot of positions over the race.
Nygaard tries to go side by side with Alberg, but he's not really close enough. But he will stay close behind through the next couple of corners. It looks like Nygaard still has a real chance at 17th position with under 3 minutes left now. Nygaard will have a look up the inside. They go side by side.
He's having a go at the inside.
Alberg will have to defend from here. And it looks like he will. Nygaard lose a bit of time again at the same corner he had some trouble with earlier. That's maybe a bit of a tricky corner for him.
As Pottage is closing the back of John Dalton. A bit late to really do it.
So he's not done yet.
Not done yet.
Just under 2 minutes left though.
The back marker has been let through. Front end damage still, so I don't know why he's not just pitted.
I'm not sure either. He seems to be just dropping all the way down the grid.
Yeah, there's a
as a
31
result
second
of
gap.
that damage is in P20.
If he pitted there, I think he could
Although
have
the
repaired
gap
that.
to P21 is fairly large, so I don't think he's going to lose another position.
We'll see as Matt Platzek is also closing on the back of Victor Berlin.
There's still some stuff going on at least.
I believe we'll probably be in the last lap as
Robert Nygaard will have a look at the inside of Alberg again into the same corner he did last time. Though they can't go side by side this time round.
Matt Platzek is so very close to the back of that BMW. Olsen is also trying to close the gap now as well. I don't think there'll be enough time as soon as they cross that line, they have one more lap to do everything.
Nygaard is trying to move up the inside into turn 1. No, he won't. He didn't get quite close enough on the straight.
Ooh, and Platzek goes off. Platzek goes off in the gravel in the arena section and loses two positions out of that. Almost reminiscent of someone else.
As Tom Pottage is now getting truly close to John Dalton into turn 2.
As the checker flag will be out. Waiting for Thomas Jensen as he's going through the final corners now.
As Pottage looks like he could be making
very
a move on
aggressive
Dalton.
indeed. as they both weave all over the track.
Looks like the weaving has actually cost Pottage a bit of time.
As the checkered flag is out, as Thomas
Let's see, they
Jansen.
go side by side in the hairpin. They get a good exit. So Tom got a slightly better exit there.
Corvette's just pulling away though. More power. And they do it. A few more corners to go.
And it looks like Tom lost a bit of time through there, so I don't think he'll be able to do it.
You don't know, there's still a few more corners, anything can happen. Got a lot of pressure on the back of that Corvette now. But which of them can not make a mistake at this point. If someone makes a mistake now, then it's all over for that person. It does look like, as you say, that John Dalton's managed to keep just ahead for long enough. And they'll cross the line to finish P4 and P5.
Good results for Tom, I think, considering where he started.
Over the line and heads in P6. Victor Berlin going to come home in P7. Olsen P8. And Pletzek rounds off the top 10.
And 11th will be Vinnie Roberts as Jurgen Wolby goes the line in P12.
And this then will be the last car to cross the line.
21st.
And there we go. So, Thomas Jansen takes the race win, as Honza does take the fastest lap, but only takes P2, followed by Gonzalez, Dalton, Pottage, Kovalainen, Berlin, Olsen, Oman, and Pletzek round off your top 10. And that has been round one of the GT2 series. That's one of the best races I've ever seen, like in this league. Then about you.
It's been, yeah, very interesting indeed. Lots of battling going on all around the field, especially at the front with Thomas Jansen and Jaroslav Honzik battling through the hairpin consistently for a bunch of laps in a row. It was interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think that's one of the best races we've ever had, and yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Congratulations to Tom for taking another win, and that'll be us, I think, from the OVRC. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Anything to say, Erwin, before we go?
Yeah, thank you for tuning in once again. If you'd like to follow along with the rest of the season, make sure you subscribe to the channel and tune into the next few races we have. There's GT4 this Thursday. I'm still not entirely sure if that's going to be broadcasted, but there will be a broadcast next week again on Monday for the round 2 of our Porsche GT3 Cup Series at the Red Bull Ring.
And make sure you check the website for all the results, for all the standings.
Yeah, link for that is in the description.
And that's also where you sign up to join the leagues. Make sure you can join our Discord if you want to talk to the drivers, ask about setups, and have a nice chat, or obviously race. And yeah, that's pretty much us. Thanks for watching once again, and we'll see you next time, whenever that is. Be Monday.
Goodbye.
Be this week.